Why would you want to make a fire burn downwards? To try to get the most heat out of it, that's why. Well, that was what I was thinking anyway. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but watch this experiment first. Normally, a fire might sit on a grate like this. Some of the heat that's produced radiates out from the centre. Ooh, lovely! That's the heat that warms your knees or toasts your muffins. But lots more of the heat is convected upwards where the air pressure is less. If you have a chimney, that heat goes straight up there and you'd never even know it was lost. The hottest part of the fire is probably around here, somewhere that includes radiated heat and convected heat. So if you wanted to use your fire to heat water, you might put water pipes somewhere around the same place, wouldn't you? But that way the pipes would get in the way of adding more fuel. The fuel would pile up on top and the fire would migrate upwards, so your pipes would no longer be in the hottest part, and that's no good surely. So what would happen if you replaced the grate at the bottom with your water pipes and made the convected heat go downwards somehow? Wouldn't that mean that the pipes are in the best place to collect the convected heat and the radiated heat at the same time? And you could add fuel to the top as normal without messing up the fire. Of course, that would mean getting everything to burn upside down, so the flames would go down between the pipes and fresh air would have to come in from the top somehow. Is that even possible? That's the question. That's what I'm trying to find out. So before I build a full-size firebox, I thought I'd make an experimental version that might answer a few questions without me spending any money. And I thought you'd be interested to see it too. Aren't you a little bit interested? I based my model around a piece of glass I found in the recycling centre. I took it out of an oven door, so I assume it will cope with some heat surely. It's so we can see what's happening inside. The other parts I cut from 3mm steel on the plasma cutter and tacked them together with the MIG welder. Of course, by then it wasn't very flat. So I put it on the bench sander and did some adjusting with the flap disc so the glass plate would fit snugly on the stove. I made a close-fitting door out of 2 layers of plate because I don't want this to leak. The plan is that the air will come in at the bottom, up the flue on the right, down through the grate and up the left-hand flue, just like an ordinary chimney, except there's an S-bend in the middle. I'm thinking I might need to help the airflow because the chimney in this model is so short. Here's a smoke test. Not easy to film, but I hope you can see that, yes, the smoke goes around the corners. And out the top. So now let's light a fire. There's no water pipes in this model. I was hoping I'd learn enough without them. We should be able to see where the hottest part of the fire is through the glass. But of course, the glass might just break. Who knows? Yes, the airflow does need help to work. I'm using a hot air gun to blow air through from the bottom. I did try to suck air through from the top, but that didn't work as well. These things could be partly down to the size of the model. A full-size version might not need much help once it's hot. But look, it's working and looking pretty good, I think. I'm using charcoal because that's something I hope to have lots of at some point, although this is all rather small. Having an upside down fire means when you add new fuel, it doesn't go into the flames. In fact, the fire has to expand backwards into the airflow to meet the fuel. This is really what I'm interested to learn about as well. Will it work, or will the fire just go out? So I speeded up this clip to show you that the fire has no problem working backwards through the fuel into the draft. As I say, the charcoal was a bit small, so I thought I'd mix in a few sticks, and then this happened. Oh dear. The heat-resistant glass just couldn't cope. Mind you, I was asking a lot of it. It surely was getting very hot in there. So that brought the experiment to a close. But I learned a lot anyway. Isn't it all so interesting? It would be helpful if I had one of those infrared thermometers that I could point at things. But as you know, I'm doing everything on the tightest budget. Any money. So I don't have one of those. But if you happen to have a spare one, please could I have it? All in the interest of science, of course. In the meantime, I'm wondering how to scale this up. Any thoughts?